What North Carolinians in our district need to know is that the two biggest economic factors are the military and agriculture. I've been a huge supporter of the military. In the House of Representatives, I've passed numerous bills to help military, veterans, spouses, and families. Most recently, House Bill 83, which was no income tax for retired military, passed. I was the primary sponsor of that. In terms of agriculture, that's a major driver in our region. Once you get away from the main city, which is really Fayetteville, everything revolves around agriculture. I've been very involved in agriculture since I've been involved in the legislature. I'll continue to remain involved and certainly work for farmers so that they can do what they need to do without interference from the federal government. Experience matters and results count. I have the experience to take to Washington and be ready to jump in from day one and be an effective leader.
Well, I think ultimately what I can offer is my complete and total self. I intend to go at this with 100% of my being and ensure that I give the constituents a voice. And I think that what we're seeing across the board right now is that, you know, not even just in this district, but across North Carolina and across the United States as a whole, I don't think we have a voice anymore. And so we need to make sure that the people that we send to DC are actually listening, not just sitting up there on an ivory tower. So that's what I intend to give this district. Well, I think I come with a couple different things. One, my healthcare background gives me a good understanding of some of the things that we can change for the better to provide better opportunities for people to have less, cost associated with healthcare and things like that. But I'm also a business person. I spent 30 years as a nurse, but the last 7 or 8 years have been more on the business side, doing budgeting, contract negotiations, things like that. And I mean, heaven knows we need a balanced budget and we've got to stop this spending. And I have a good idea of looking at things from a big picture and finding more efficient ways to do things.
Even though it's the new district, there is no incumbent. My intent is to try and make a difference and fight for this district. Yes, Cumberland and the surrounding counties, Sampson, Harnett, and Johnson will have a bigger and greater voice. I'm a retired Army colonel, 26 years. I've been a fighter my whole life. I'm going to go from being a citizen soldier to citizen statesman. I want to make a difference. I want to go up there and tame inflation. I want to make a difference on the supply chain problems we're having, and I want to fight for our energy independence. I want to do something for the agricultural portions of this district because we have to deny the foreign entities from buying our acreage of our farmland to make a difference. But I think I can make the best difference. I know DC. I've served 8 years up in Washington, D.C., so I know DC, I know North Carolina, and I can make a difference. Well, not only my retired military experience, I was stationed here at Fort Bragg with 18th Airborne Corps, flew Apaches. I do know DC. I've had leadership experience throughout the military. I am a small business entrepreneur, sold my company back in 15 and tried to make a difference. What makes me unique is I do know DC, I'm ready to fight for this district, but I want to make sure that I can do something for the veterans. Being a veteran myself, I'm actually a disabled veteran. I want to fight for our veterans, make sure they get the medical care and their disability that they're deserving.
Well, I've been a fighter for Cumberland County and the area for years. I've served 12 years total on the city council, 4 of those years as mayor, and have been a real advocate for the Fayetteville and surrounding areas. I fought a lot for the infrastructure that we have and the programs that we have that makes this a better community. And that's what I want to bring to the 4th Congressional District with Cumberland, Harnett, Sampson, and Johnston counties. Well, everybody can call on their experiences, but I've got actual experience with working with a lot of federal agencies. As mayor, and the only Republican mayor in the past 50 years, I've had the opportunity to work unfortunately, with FEMA, with the Department of Justice, with the Veterans Administration, with Fort Bragg Command. I mean, just a lot of the federal agencies. And I look forward to bringing that experience to the 4th Congressional District and representing our people just like I did as mayor.
Fantastic question. Thank you for asking that. I'm a fighter. I'll offer you a fighter as your next congressman. I'm a guy that's going to go to Washington with my Christian conservative principles and stand up and fight for the culture and the beliefs that we hold dear, something that we don't see enough of in Washington today. That's a great question as well. Look, it's easy to see. I'm not a career politician. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not a political opportunist that's just hopping the state looking for a congressional seat to win. I'm just DeVan. I'm from right up the street in Johnston County. I've been there, lived there my whole life. I'm one of us. And I want to go to Washington to represent us with one of us as someone that'll stand true to what's important to us, not what's important to that single person or to Washington.
Well, that's a great question, and what I will say is I had the honor of representing Cumberland County in my first race, and I was able to represent Fort Bragg and military families as well. There are many issues that occur in Cumberland County that do not throughout the rest of the district, and so it's very, very important that everyone who is in Congress understands Cumberland County's needs. I gave constituent services, especially to our veterans and military families. Those are two issues that I will be doing even better the next go-round. I think the thing that makes myself stand out among the other candidates, who are all very qualified, I would have to say, number one, I live in the district. This is my home. Having represented Cumberland County in the past, I know Cumberland County. I also worked very recently at the VA nursing home in Fayetteville for over a year and a half, taking care of our veterans. I know Cumberland County. I live in this area. The district is my home, and I understand the needs of the constituents here.
Most importantly, what I bring to the table as a candidate and presumably the representative is that I prioritize three things: the Ten Commandments, the Constitution, and the constituents. What we've seen time and time again out of our so-called representatives is that they run for Congress as opposed to running to be a representative of the people. Too often, we're also seeing our representatives be influenced by corporations. What I bring to the table is a set of principles and character that cannot be bought. There's nothing a corporation has that I value. Of all the other highly qualified candidates on this stage today, I'm unique just enough of the fact of my life and experiences. Everyone says these days they're an outsider, but I'm certainly the furthest from it. It's only been recently that I even decided to pay much attention to politics. My career, spending 26 years now in special operations and the intelligence communities, has kept me working for America and very much immersed in America's foreign policies, especially in Central Asia and the Middle East. And now, all those lessons learned, the simple problem solving, that is what we do in special operations, is solve problems and work with people. And a lot of times it's people who don't share even our citizenship. We're working with host nation forces, folks who don't speak the same language, don't share our same religion. And I've spent my entire career bringing those folks together to one mission. When I get to DC, having those skills is what's going to truly set me apart.
Well, what I plan to offer is stability. Right now, our government is in flux. We're fighting back and forth. We're not communicating with each other. We need to take the time to communicate, to decide, and most importantly, to act. My mission for Congress is to bring prosperity to the 4th District by either jobs or any infrastructure that may need it from the government. My experience between the military, the fire department, my business, every day I give, and I solve problems. My life is basically controlled chaos by the things that I do and the things that I do for my community and the 4th District.
So there's a lot of things that are important to not just North Carolinians, but to all Americans, because I'm going to be at the federal level for the House of Representatives. So the big ones right now are, CRT, critical race theory in schools, election integrity, the ability to make your own decisions about your own body, bodily autonomy, and also ending all these tyrannical COVID restrictions. Those are the big ones. And of course, there's many other ones as well, such as immigration and the like. So what makes me unique is I come not only from a job of service, having served in the Army, but also coming from a family of service as well. I'm 4th generation Army. I'm a 3rd generation Army officer. And when I was deployed both times, I did contracting, so I did a lot of negotiation. And I also worked with large groups of people when I was overseas. And I also have a master's degree in acquisition and procurement management. And so I think that all of these skills, both on the military and civilian side that I've gained over the past 8 years, will be really helpful with me coordinating and working together as a team effort with other patriots in Congress to helping as many people in this country and in this district as possible.